Ladies and gents, making video games is a fairly simple concept, believe it or not. You have an idea, you want to expand it, you want to explore it and make it a reality. You either start learning to code, or you get people that would share in your vision, or you can hire them and do all that work while you do the creative stuff, the narrative, the story, the characters, the way it progresses, the type of games, and all of that stuff in order to make a complete product. And usually, one of the key ingredients when you're making such a concept into a reality is having it to be fun, to be entertaining, to provide you with the escapism that we have talked so often about on this channel. But apparently, they're now trying to use making video games into a far-out propaganda machine. Greetings, ladies and gents, my name is Kelzo, the bearded Balkan blabbermouth, and I am discussing, and today we're going to talk about a follow-up to the Take Us North indie game story, and how apparently it is kind of connected to a very large network of what I can only describe as narrative code pushing to the max. But before this video continue, if you enjoy my content, if you have enjoyed my videos, my streams, and the channel and want to support it, please press the subscribe button, press the join button if you want to support it more directly, and of course help homeless animals and animals in shelters as well, because that is one of the things that we do over here. With that, thank you, and back to the video. This is a video from Master of the TDS and Gothic Therapy with his wife Writing Raven that they posted on September 1st. Now, I'm not going to play the video because I do want to talk about what I got from it, but I highly encourage that you go down to the description below and click on the link to see the whole thing. It is glorious. We have Carla Reyes, which is on the right here on the screen, presenting her idea of gaming. And while she's talking about things like narrative pushing, like what is socially hot at the time, what political issues can be exploited into the video game, and how you can get backing from TV stations, from government organizations, and from interested groups that are not necessarily into gaming but would support a project that pushes a specific narrative. And no, I am not kidding about that, you can hear it from her as well. It also showcases exactly what they want to do. Now, we have talked about narrative pushing a lot on this channel, we have talked about it on other channels as well, and the concept is fairly simple. They're going into every sort of media that they can, be it TV, cinema, as with Hollywood and all the stuff that they have been pushing around, video games, comic books, everything that kind of provides you with entertainment and exists in everyday life and would possibly make you have specific thoughts while you consume it. Now, what I can assume and what I think that their agenda is to overtake every possible medium and push the narrative that they want, be it the woke mind virus, be it supporting a specific side in a conflict, constantly supporting illegal immigration, supporting abortion or not, whatever you might think is appropriate at the time as someone who would push a narrative, or whatever someone else tells them. So in my opinion, this is what they're doing, and they have succeeded to a degree in a lot of the mediums. We have seen toys, we have seen video games, we have seen comic books and movies that have been so filled with the whole woke agenda that pushes for the destruction of the nuclear family, pushes for transgenderism, which I firmly believe that is a mental illness, which pushes for a lot of things that a lot of people are not comfortable with and do not support. So they're trying to bend your everyday reality by bending and subverting your escapism reality. That's my opinion again. And with that, they are producing games that actively promote that. So when you have your favorite franchise put out a new game like Dragon Age, the Vanguard did, you're bombarded with propaganda, with trans talk, with pronouns, with everything in a setting that doesn't feel right. And while I think that this might have worked much better in earlier years when people were not so awake to the whole concept of what a video game is, and there was a time when pretty much everything was being consumed very, very actively. Now that's not the case. The case now is that people have criteria, people have standards of video games, because we have consumed a lot of video games over the past, especially since the introduction of computers, consoles, 3D, and everything that is current on the market. So we do want something that is of quality, but we're not getting it. We might get pretty graphics, but we're getting a sloppy story. We might get very nice game mechanics, but again, we're stuck with a narrative that we just don't want. And most of the times we're stuck with neither of them and just being told of what we should hate and what we should love, which is, again, narrative pushing to the max, aimed predominantly at younger people. And while Take a Snort was definitely one of those games, we have yet another that was presented on this video clip, which is called Crossing Lines. Yes, folks, it's a game about crossing borders. And why? Well, let's take a look at that. Weave through traffic in this narrative driving experience. Your teenage sister shows up at your college dorm in a panic. She needs help, but because of the state's strict abortion plan, she doesn't know where to go or what to do. So yeah, you have a teenage sister, which apparently practiced the act of sex with someone possibly over her age very much, or just was not careful because she didn't have a proper sex education, which would have been a good game to have somewhere out there. And she comes to you as the protagonist to help her, not with anything else, but to get rid of it. She's not gonna come to ask you whether or not she should do something with the boy. I'm guessing it's a boy in question, because with those pronouns and everything, you don't know anyone who's called like that in these games. No, she comes after she has done the stupid deed. And what do you do as a protagonist, as a helpful, I'm guessing, sister? Yes. After you go and actually try to drive her to a state that it will have such abortion plans and abortion laws in place, and that is basically the game. After managing to secure an appointment in Colorado, you pile into your mother's old station wagon, hoping to make it there on time. As you attempt the long and intimidating journey, the story of the sisters and their bond unfolds. So yes, you have the story, the gripping story of the sisters, how they possibly fell out and how they're now going to reconnect over this, how they're going to basically get an abortion and have a soulful moment that it will keep them warm and together to all time. Now, I am not going to talk about the political side of things, because I do not want to get political on this side, whether or not you're pro, against, pro to a certain degree, against, all the way. I don't care. I have my own views. You have your own views. That is something that we do not care, and it's something that should not be pushed. And I do emphasize on pushed in video games, because if we go to the argument point that some people are going to make, yes, there are games that do actively have either violence or sexual promiscuity or stuff that can be considered controversial. However, it is not, first of all, the sole purpose of a game. It is not promoted actively in the game, and it's not a game that is built around it and actually telling you that you should do and promote that in real life. There is a difference. There are elements, and there is the whole building blocks of the certain product. That is the difference that nobody seems to be getting out of the games anyway. It either has to be one or the other, and somewhere along the line, the fun and the entertainment is utterly lost. Let us actually take a look on this trailer for this game. As you can see, this is by Leah Churchill, who is one of the supposed creators of the game, who actually has 3 subscribers on YouTube and has posted the trailer with 447 views, 6 dislikes and 2 likes. Of course, it's something that is utterly deplorable, because she's not an internet persona, and this game is being artificially pushed by the agenda people. So let's take a look at this 30-second trailer. I got you an appointment in Colorado. Will this car even make it that far? I guess we're going to find out, says Emma. And you can see the amazing graphics and an amazing gameplay that you can only get from your proper Atari system. Now, I will be the last person to talk about graphics and stuff like that in a video game. However, when you're making a game, you want to have an entertainment factor. And this is obviously not such a game. This is a game that pretends to be like that. It is just a narrative piece. It's a propaganda piece, in my opinion, that is just going to try and fill your head. And the worst thing is that although it's being an indie game and everybody can basically create whatever they are creating and being promoted for that, they're being artificially promoted. They're finding sponsors for these games that are on a government level or on a TV level, in entertainment, in a lot of places, a lot of mass media that do carry certain narratives and do want to push certain agendas across your whole community and the whole entertainment system one way or another. So to get sponsors for such a game and to have one more foothold in that culture war that is going on is, again, one more thing that actually drives people like me and other people to talk about it and to talk against it. We're not going to shut up about that. And every time such a game and such thing it starts to exist and starts to get promoted, you can bet your ass it's going to be found out. And I can actually guarantee you that people like Master of the TDS and Writing Raven from Gothic Therapy are the ones who are absolutely going to get to the bottom of this entire vile web. And you have if you have watched some of my older videos, you know what I'm talking about. Every bit of this is connected, ladies and gents. Everything of this, it's connected to various media. It is connected to governmental bans and things like the UK Safety Act, to child protection, to all of those things. And it is one big giant spider web, keeps growing and growing. But people like Master of the TDS, people like Madam Savvy on X and on YouTube, people like Smash JT, people like the big YouTubers that are having more of a reach, they're going to promote this. And people like me, while I don't have that reach as they do, will go and talk about it, leave our opinions and discuss it further and further and not be silent about it. This is how we are going to win this thing. Illuminate and keep it vocal and keep it present. That's it, because I can assure you, a lot of these people want us gone, want us silent, want us to not say anything against them, and they'll go to great lengths. They'll go to lawsuits, they'll go to cancellations of YouTube channels, they'll go to mass reporting, and those are things that are happening. But guess what? We ain't going anywhere. But anyways, this is all I have for this video today. Please go down in the description below, check out Gothic Therapy and their video on this matter. Check out their other videos, because they're unraveling a huge web of these absolute degenerates, and they're going to get to the bottom of this. And if you like this video, if you like my channel, press the like, press the subscribe button, leave a comment with your opinion down below. And if you want to support the channel directly, press the join button and become a member of the DiscussThing Guild. Your contribution helps the channel and helps feeding and taking care of homeless animals and animals in shelters, as well as give you some exclusive sneak peeks on how we do that. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Helso, this was DiscussThing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers and stay fresh.